Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Ethereum. Before we jump into the price action, I want to just say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. Okay, so we need to talk about a few things. We came down here and we crossed this wave 1 high, so that technically invalidates this move. So we'll have to just move that off the table here. So what does this mean now? So this could mean that actually potentially we could have completed this fifth wave into this high point here, and we would have to look at the starting point of just being here. And the way we would have to look at that potentially is that within the structure we've gotten a move here where this is an ABC rather than a 5-wave move. So we have a W, an X, sorry, a W, X, and a Y, where this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then a B wave, and then a truncated C wave here. That's the only way otherwise that this works, and then we look to complete in here. Alternatively, we can argue that this is not a 5-wave move because we've invalidated that fifth, and this is just a B, and a C wave to the upside. So that could just be a flat, in which case we could look at this potentially as an A B, and a C wave to the downside. So this is a possibility. And if that's the case, effectively what we'd be looking to do is come back down and test this zone. And ideally, the problem I have with this is that the structure within this move is not great. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But potentially, if this is the case, we could actually look, we've actually come into this zone now, this 1382 to this 1618. So that's potentially completed if it is a... The internal structures, however, are very strange, and we need to just be aware that there could be extension. So this is one of the ways of measuring it. The alternative way is to measure it from its base. I need to get that on there actually, slightly out. So let me just pull this back up. So if we're measuring it this way, the way we'd be looking for is this potentially this 1618 here is an area we could actually look to push back down into as a completed move. Though, like I said, the subwave structure within this is not great. The other way of measuring this, and I'm going to just move it down here now, would basically be looking for this zone here, this 1236 to this 1618 zone. So this, if we do extend further down here, could still be a flat if it starts to go into this zone like this. However, if that is the case, we'd have to start wondering whether it is this bigger fourth wave in play here, and this is all actually just an A, B, and then a C like this. So we'd have to just sort of monitor that and see if we get two additional 5-wave moves or if there's only a singular 5-wave move. So within the structure, the reason why I don't really like it, I'm going to go over this now. So if I just turn this off and turn that off and get rid of this ABC. The problem I have with this structure is the fact that if we're looking at this as a breakdown, so within here you would have to argue that you have a diagonal into this point here where this is a 1, 2. But the internal legs of this structure I don't really like either as a diagonal, and ideally I would have wanted to count it into here as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, the only way you can count this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So it is possible that there's a diagonal into here, but I just don't really like the structure, and I would have wanted to see it would also be an expanding diagonal, which is a lot more rare than the contracting variant. So I am a little bit skeptical, but what I'm worried about within the structures is that there is the potential for extension, and what I'm talking about here is, alternatively, instead of looking this as a diagonal, we could argue that potentially we have a setup of 1s and 2s here that haven't played out yet. looking for a bigger impulsive structure to the downside. So looking at this as a 1, 2, 3, looking for this fourth wave into this 1570 zone, to this 1585. Although if we move it back above this 1585, that would invalidate this. But basically looking for that fifth wave drop to this 1508 and this 1493 zone. So if we do move down into there, that could potentially set us up for a double bottom here within this structure. And we'd have to see what happens from there, because it is possible that this is just a corrective move to the downside. Instead of looking at this as potentially an impulse or a diagonal, we can also just argue that this is a W, this is an X, this is a Y, and then we have a W. So then we have an A wave, a B wave, and potentially a C wave down. So that would end with this first 5-wave move if that's the case, because this whole move here would become an A, B, and a C. So that's something we need to bear in mind. If we manage to hold this zone, we could actually be looking for this being a completed corrective structure and then another push to the upside. So this 5-wave move is valid for as long as we do not cross this 1585. Basically, what I'm looking for here is we can potentially push up one more time, but I wouldn't want to come much higher than this 1570, and then effectively would want to see that break down towards this 1508 area. We can argue it's potentially started within here, where this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We come back up for a 2, and then we look to break down and take this low point. If that's the case, what we need to be looking out for is whether we get further rejection off of this zone again. So this is looking for the potential that we have extending waves here. I haven't drawn all of them in yet because there's no point unless this one reacts. If this one does react, then we can start arguing, okay, well, we're going to get some further extensions down here and it's going to push much deeper. But effectively within this, we got this potentially as a 1, 2 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then this would be that third wave. Would push up into this same zone, this 1569 to this 1554, and then look for that fifth wave. This is obviously this is basically as long as we don't have any extension within the waves. If we have extensions within the waves, we'll push these targets much lower. So yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I want to see how we react here. If we manage to break back above this 1585, then it's possible that we have a completed move in here. And we would have to look at this potentially as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like looking at it like that at the moment because this is much bigger too than this. So it's possible that we have just that final, another drop here within the structure. And then we would be looking for this push back up. However, for as long as we need to be just careful, because if we can't manage to retake these zones of the 1684, 48, the 16... Let me do it this way. The 1663 and finally this 1679, there is the potential that this extends down. So we just got to be a little bit careful. The stochastics are looking quite good though on the daily, the 4-hourly, and the 8-hourly, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just check them quickly. Yeah, I mean, we're looking quite good for a move up here. So this could tie into this playing out as our fourth wave and looking for this retracement into the support zone. If we get this deeper move into here, then basically what we could be looking for is that fifth wave that we had indicated here, this white fifth wave to the upside. So that's what we're looking for here. We don't have this fourth wave come in yet, so we need to just be careful, because otherwise if we fail to develop this fourth wave and actually we drop down below this 1309 zone, we would have to reevaluate the count and be careful that we don't have a triangle playing out here on the macro that we went through in one of the previous videos. So yeah, this is what I'm sort of anticipating for the time being. I want to see how this reacts. The alternative corrective count, which we were going to go over, is basically something like this, where you look at this whole move as an A, this is a B, then we'd want to see this play out as a 5-wave move. So we've come into the typical zone for this already. However, we can potentially push down one more time towards the bottom end of this, which would be this 1508 to this 1493. That would also lead to a retest of this channel, which we haven't interacted with again. So this is sort of why my thinking is that we might potentially be coming to look to interact with this zone. This previous fourth wave here would be an interesting area, 1501. It is lining up quite nicely. So there is a little bit of confluence within this zone, but basically within this, if we move back up above this 1604 in this instance, it would invalidate this potential fifth wave to the downside. So we've got a little bit of room here, but I wouldn't really want to go much higher than this 1570. I do think that we can potentially drop here one more time to look to target out these lower ranges here, and then from there it'll be important to see what happens. If we rally to the upside, it could be possible that we have completed this fourth wave, and actually we are looking to push up one more time, and the target area for that would be towards this 1724 to this 1800 area. So this is just a zone we could potentially look to push up to if we do get this fifth wave playing out. So we just got to give it a bit more time and see what happens. This move could also get more complex. It doesn't have to go up straight away either, because this move here was complex in itself. So like I said, though, ideally this fourth wave would have been a 5-wave move. And if we're looking at this as a diagonal rather, then we would have to look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'd be looking for an additional fourth and fifth here if that is the case. And this is a 5-wave move. So if it is a 5-wave move, we'd have to see how it reacts. If we complete our 5-wave move and then we retrace to the upside here, basically let's go for this area, and we start getting rejection at these highs again, this 0.618, 50%, all the way up to sort of the 786 zone, it's possible we could be setting up for a bigger move here as a B, and a C, looking to come deeper into this zone, because this white box area is a typical fourth wave range. So there is some confluence in the higher end of this, like where we're heading now. So we'll just have to see how this plays out, because if we're looking for this white fourth wave, then what we would want to see is basically once we complete into this area, we'd want to see this push up to the upside here, and we want to see that impulsive structure coming in. Once we get that, if we continue to break down and we get too deep within this move and we cross towards this 1389 area at sort of a maximum, then we would have to argue that this is just a corrective, or this is a completed move in here, and we're not actually going to get this fifth wave. We'd have to be very careful at that point, because it only really invalidates by coming down to this 1309 area. But if we do start to break down below these lows here, it becomes less likely, because we would have broken back into this channel, potentially looking for rejection off of it on the upturn here, and then that could actually bring us back down into testing some of these lower areas within the move. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there, give it a bit more time, and we'll do an update video later once we get a bit more information within the moves. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and why not leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. Also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Why not come and join it? It's free to join. Come have a chat with us. We're always happy to help and just interact with you guys and girls. Really happy to see you if you come down there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope everyone has a great day. Take care out there.